आपण पाहत आहात जनता न्यूज एक्सप्रेस।
रोटरी इंटरनेशनल के अध्यक्ष सन कू यून दक्षिण कोरिया अपनी मुंबई यात्रा पर आए हुए हैं। अपने मुंबई दौरे के दरमियान वे कई कार्यक्रमों एवं परियोजनाओं में भाग ले रहे हैं। आज मुंबई के प्रेस क्लब में उन्होंने पत्रकारों को संबोधित किया। रोटरी इंटरनेशनल के बारे में पूछे गए हर सवाल का जवाब उन्होंने दिया। रोटरी इंटरनेशनल के कार्य पर उन्होंने विस्तार से वार्तालाप किया। उनके साथ रोटरी इंटरनेशनल डायरेक्टर राजू सुब्रमण्यन, रोटरी मुंबई जिला के अगले साल होने वाले गवर्नर राजन दुआ और रोटरी पूर्व गवर्नर राजेंद्र अग्रवाल शामिल थे। इस वार्तालाप परिषद का आयोजन सुमनजी अग्रवाल इन्होंने किया।
More than 46,000 member Rotary Club all over the world, and the way Rotary is governed is we have a central headquarters like I said in Chicago. उनके annual एक president होते हैं, he is a Rotary International President. So for the year 26-27, the Rotary International President who will govern the entire world is Sang Koo Yoon. He is from South Korea. In time you will realize it is very difficult to find such a humble and noble human being. अगर आप लोग राजेंद्र जी को जानते हो, he is an exact replica. Rotary is a service organization. So we say how we differentiate ourselves from the rest of the world is we are not the white helmets, we are not the Red Cross. Rotary as an organization is not a disaster management or a disaster relief organization. We are builders, we are service organization. For example, जब सुनामी आई थी, we were not the first to reach there, but जो सबसे बड़ा काम हुआ, the biggest contribution, the rebuilding of houses, redeployment of people was done by Rotary. जब भी कोई बड़ी calamity आती है, जैसे उत्तराखंड में हुई थी, again we were not the first to reach there to rescue people, but जितना reconstruction work वहाँ हुआ है या world में हुआ है, अफ्रीका में हुआ है, साउथ अमेरिका में हुआ है, इंडिया में होता है, Rotary is the top most. We are today for the last 50 years recognized by the World Charity Navigator as a 4-star organization, which is the biggest and the highest order given to any organization in the world. We are well known for our stewardship and the scale of work we do. आप लोगों ने एक वो कैंपेन देखा होगा 2 बूंद पोलियो की, that is our campaign. Rotary as a culture we like to stay in the background and let the other agencies take the credit. WHO की पूरी funding, working with the governments, everything Rotary does for them. We stay in the background, our volunteers work on the ground, and we make sure, barring Pakistan and Afghanistan today, Rotary has eradicated polio from the rest of the world. What is our next target? 100% literacy in India and the rest of the world. So this is what Rotary does, building the country, building nations. Further, I will give an introduction. हम लोग 3 मुंबई से हैं. जैसे Sang Koo Yoon sir is from South Korea. He is a Rotary International President. There are 542 districts all over the world. Raju Subramaniam is the director for India. Rajendra Agarwal ji was a past governor 3 years ago, and I will be the incoming governor with Sang Koo Yoon after 2 years. So very fortunate that the senior most person from Rotary is here. I request you to ask him all the difficult questions that you can ask him. The future of Rotary, what Rotary's contribution to the world is. I promise you, you will give him a standing ovation. Thank you very much. Thank you.
आणि रोटरी इंटरनॅशनलचं काय काम करताय, काय सहयोग आम्ही करू शकतोय, किती आम्ही काम करतोय ते लोकांना समजायला पाहिजे, म्हणून हा प्रेस कॉन्फरन्स आम्ही आयोजित केला.
Sir, so my question is very simple, sir. I would like to very high, sir, especially for the poor and middle class people suffer lot, sir. So for that you can do something, sir.
Yeah, please. See, we are a service organization.
Right.
We basically are a service organization where हम सेवा करते हैं. तो हम इतने सारे मेडिकल कैंप्स करते हैं, पीडियाट्रिक हार्ट सर्जरीज करते हैं, सारी चीजें जो हम करते हैं हम फ्री करते हैं. उसमें हम कोई किसी पेशेंट को चार्ज नहीं करते. डायबिटिक कैंप्स करते हैं तो उनको टेस्ट करवाते हैं, वो भी हम फ्री करते हैं, चार्ज नहीं करते. बट गवर्नमेंट का पॉलिसी के साथ हम इंटरफेयर करेंगे एज एन एनजीओ हु डज ओनली सर्विस, ये तो दिक्कत की बात है. बट आपकी जो बात है मैं समझ रहा हूँ कि ये मेडिसिन का गरीब लोगों के लिए काफी चिंतादायक चीज है.
तो मनमानी हो गया सर.
बात सही है, आपकी बात सही है, मैं मानता हूँ. बट ये सवाल आप उन लोगों से पूछिए जो खादी पहन के घूमती है ना, उनसे पूछिए. उनका काम है ये कि लोगों का सेवा बन के जो MP MLA है उनका काम है गवर्नमेंट से बात करके ये करना. हम एनजीओ है, हम सेवा भावे हैं, हम पॉलिटिक्स में नहीं उतरते, इसीलिए हम ये काम हमसे नहीं होगा. कोशिश जरूर करेंगे, हम रिप्रेजेंटेशन जरूर करेंगे, पर उससे अलावा हम कुछ कर नहीं पाएंगे.
But if anybody give me chance, I'll speak to these people sir directly.
By all means, you have so many press conferences with politicians. Please ask them the question. Please.
Sir, मागील म्हणजे खूप वर्षापासून रोटरी क्लबची काम सेवाभावी म्हणून चालू आहे. या सर्व प्रवासामध्ये असं एखादी कोणती गोष्ट आहे की रोटरीच्या इतिहासात त्याची नोंद होईल?
He's saying for all these years, Rotary Clubs have been doing great work. What is that one thing really has given a big name to Rotary or is a remarkable achievement of it? Ityana Sam.
Namaste. Thank you very much for having me here. Glad that you asked a good question. Rotary, at this point, since 1985, we've been trying to eradicate polio. As you know, polio is a deadly disease for children, and at that time, every day there were more than 1,000 cases a day, and 350,000 cases a year. Now, this year, up to today, there are only 4 cases happening in the whole world, and there are only 2 countries still affecting, which is Afghanistan and Pakistan. And those countries, sorry to say, are not are involved in conflicts, and government is not functioning well. So that there's an issue of vaccinating children in those countries. So those 2 countries are still having issues. Otherwise, the continent of Africa and continent of India both been eradicated polio, which is incredible feat. And I'm proud that we are part of that effort that has been going on since 30-some years, and we are very, very close to it. And still, we are spending a lot of money, a lot of effort to make sure that we complete this challenge to eradicate polio completely from the face of this earth. Thank you very much.
Education साठी ऐलान रोटरीने केलं होतं. दुसरं कोणी ऑर्गनायझेशन WHO वगैरे नंतर आले. हा चॅलेंज रोटरीने घेतलं की आम्ही मुलांना ह्या डिसीज मधून आम्ही सेव्ह करू. हे रोटरीचा ऐलान 1985 मध्ये झाला. त्यानंतर WHO हे लोक सगळं जॉईन झाले. बिल गेट्स फाउंडेशन जॉईन झाले रोटरी बरोबर. आणि हा रोटरीचा एकदम इम्पॉर्टंट कार्यक्रम आहे. टू इरॅडिकेट अ डिसीज इन द वर्ल्ड इज नॉट अ स्मॉल जोक. इट्स अ चॅलेंज. And I think that's the challenge that Rotary took on, and we are on the verge of succeeding in that challenge.
सर, रोटरी क्लब्स हा एक मोठे ऑर्गनायझेशन आहे. एखाद्या प्रोजेक्टवर आपण काम करताना तुमची निर्णायक प्रक्रिया कशी राबवतात? एखाद्या प्रोजेक्टवर जर कोणतं काम करायचं असेल किंवा डिसीज आला, काही कोणत्या दुर्घटना घडल्या, त्या प्रोजेक्टवर जेव्हा काम करायचं असेल तर तुमच्या निर्णायक प्रक्रिया कशा राबवल्या जातात?
क्लब साठी पाहिजे ना?
हां, क्लबचं.
रोटरी इंटरनॅशनल पाहिजे की क्लब साठी पाहिजे?
रोटरी इंटरनॅशनल पूर्ण. तुम्ही एक कशी कोऑर्डिनेट कशी करता, काय म्हणजे?
Rotary International, other than this corporate program of polio eradication, we do not make our own projects. All the service projects are done by clubs. Rotary clubs, as I mentioned, 46,000 clubs in the world. They come up with the projects. They start the projects, and when the projects are successful, and there is a need for a greater need to do more, then districts come in, and the project gets bigger and bigger. But it originates from a club.
एक स्पष्टपणे सांगू तुम्हाला, रोटरी इंटरनॅशनलचं बोर्ड आहे. बोर्ड मोठं ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव्ह डिसिजन्स घेणार. प्रोजेक्ट्स रोटरी इंटरनॅशनलचं बोर्ड करत नाही, पण क्लब्स करतात. ते ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कसं रोटरी क्लबचं करायचं, डिस्ट्रिक्टचं करायचं, ते रोटरी इंटरनॅशनल डिरेक्टर ते करतात. आमचं काम क्लब्स मध्ये होतं. तर क्लब्स मध्ये जे प्रेसिडेंट आहे, त्यांचा बोर्ड आहे, ते त्यांचा जबाबदारी आहे की त्यांचा जवळपास काय काय डिझीज आहे, काय प्रॉब्लेम आहे, त्या प्रॉब्लेमला कसं आपण करायचं, अटॅक करायचं, त्याला एक स्पष्टपणे त्याचं एक निर्माण करायचं, ते क्लब्स घेतात. आणि क्लब्स घेतात मग एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट असतो, ते डिस्ट्रिक्ट मध्ये गव्हर्नर आता हा होणार आहे 26-27 ला, ते गव्हर्नर डिरेक्शन घेणार की इकडे आपल्याला हे करायचे आहे. म्हणून ते सगळं एकत्र मिळवून एक नॉर्मल डिसिजन क्लब्स मध्ये होतो आणि डिस्ट्रिक्ट मध्ये होतोय, प्रोजेक्ट क्लब मधून येतोय. आम्ही टॉप डाऊन अप्रोच नाही आहे रोटरी इंटरनॅशनलचा, बॉटम्स अप अप्रोच आहे. क्लब्सला आणि त्यांच्या कम्युनिटीला जे पाहिजे ते आम्ही करून घेतोय. ते रोटरी इंटरनॅशनल शिकागोला बसून धारावीला काय करायचे त्यांना समजणार नाही, धारावीचा क्लबला पाहिजे कळायला पाहिजे की त्यांना काय करायचंय. तसं आहे.
We can do for all the underprivileged people, including women, including young child, including handicapped, disabled people. So that is what we do. I mean, I wish we don't have the underprivileged people in the world, but we do, and I think we are privileged to be able to help those people. And for the underprivileged women, there is a lot of things like vocational training. We do microcredit. We do all kinds of prevention of disease. We do cancer detection, cervical cancer prevention is one of the big things we do. In many countries like Sri Lanka, it's a successful country in preventing cervical cancer for women. India, I know you do here also do a big program on cervical cancer for 9 to 14-year-old girls, and so this type of thing we do. And also for the refugees, obviously the clean water is a big thing, so we try to help them with the clean water, and we want to make sure that the family can stay together and stay well.
Okay, even the richest man and the poorest man can suffer from the same cancer. So when we are doing cervical cancer vaccination for women, for girls, it is not poor and rich, it is for every child that we need to prevent it. So there is, Mr. Modi can do what he likes in tax, or Mr. Sitaraman can do what he likes in tax. We do that in service, irrespective of caste, creed, color, religion. Nothing is a barrier for us in service. So let me make that very clear. So there's no, it's not as if poor, you asked a question for poor, so he answered. But it applies to everybody. Okay.
Just add one thing. One of your colleagues called Dinesh Dubey, he had approached me a few years back and he said, I'm not a very poor reporter, I don't fall in the poor category. My child requires heart transplant.
Yes, I remember.
I can't beg. What to do? He came crying to me. So he did not fall in that category. And Rotary helped him. And his son Devendra Dubey got heart transplant at Fortis Hospital in 2021. And today he is in touch with me. He is studying in Wilson College. And you all must have seen his report when he passed SSC last year. His report came in Times of India. He passed with 70%. So he was not that category, but all cases are different. So our Rotary motto is never say no to anybody.
I want to add one more thing. When you mentioned the underprivileged women, there are many women, many children, especially girl child, underprivileged and not getting any education. And education breeds poverty and sustained poverty, as well as now the world is suffering with many displaced people, and they are also having a great issue because unless they get good education, their status will not change. So this education is another big factor that we're working on everywhere in the world to make sure that people are not not being able to replicate their poverty status after generation after generation.
इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जरूर है, पर भारत में और मुंबई में या धारावी में या चेंबूर में जो सेवा की जरूरत होती है वो सेवा हम जरूर करते हैं। ये नहीं कि शिकागो हमको बताती है क्या करना, उनको पता भी नहीं है धारावी है कि नहीं है, वो हमें जानकारी है। तो आप तो उसके लिए चिंता नहीं करना। जो भी आप एक और आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ, राजन जी हैं, राजेंद्र जी हैं, कोई भी समस्या हो हमसे संपर्क जरूर करना ताकि हम आपका मदद कर सकें। कई जगह ऐसी होती है हमको समझ में नहीं आता है कि क्या हुआ है, प्रॉब्लम है कि नहीं है, तो जरूर हमसे संपर्क कीजिएगा। प्रॉब्लम होगा तो बता दीजिएगा, हम जरूर मदद करने की कोशिश करेंगे।
समस्या पे कोई प्लानिंग है आप लोगों का?
प्लानिंग जरूर करेंगे।
ये समस्या जो है ये अवैध पीड़ितों से भी बड़ी समस्या है।
मैं समझता हूँ आपकी बात।
ये पीड़ा अवैध पीड़ितों से भी बड़ी पीड़ा होती है।
बात सही है। तो राजेंद्र जी आप जवाब दीजिए।
इसकी सजा भी बहुत कम है।
बिल्कुल,
मेरा नंबर ले लीजिए एंड अपनी मीटिंग करके डिस्कस करेंगे डिटेल में और उसका सलूशन जरूर निकालेंगे।
यस सर। कल वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स करतो है इथे नाही, खेड्यामध्ये पण जाऊन आम्ही पुष्कळ वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स करतोय। ज्याचे शिक्षक नाही आहेत त्यांना आम्ही ट्रेनिंग देतोय। कोई कोणाला पिकल बनवायची असेल की स्विंग मशीन देतोय की त्यांना काहीतरी मेडिकल असिस्टेंट म्हणून आम्ही शिक्षा देतोय। म्हणून जितना हमसे हो सकता है हम जरूर करते हैं, बट हमको ये पता लगना चाहिए कि यहाँ इसकी जरूरत है। पूरा रोजगारी तो हम समस्या को हम मिटाना बहुत मुश्किल है, आप भी जानते हैं, हम भी जानते हैं, गवर्नमेंट का जिम्मा होता है ये, बट जितना हमसे हो सके इस तरफ पे हम जरूर काम कर रहे हैं। कितने सारे वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग सेंटर्स हैं जहां पर हम 1 साल 6 महीने के कोर्सेज देते हैं लड़कियों को, विमेन को, जेंट्स को। कार ड्राइविंग सिखाते हैं। घाटकोपर क्लब है जहां पर हम ड्राइविंग का शिक्षा देते हैं ताकि उनको वापस कहीं ड्राइवर मिले या टैक्सी चला सकते हैं या रिक्शा चला सकते हैं, इसकी ट्रेनिंग देते हैं। तो ऐसे कई क्लब्स हैं जो ये काम करते हैं, पर पूरा बेरोजगारी का हिसाब हम जिम्मा नहीं ले सकते क्योंकि ये गवर्नमेंट का काम है, पर हम मदद जरूर करते हैं जितना हमसे हो सके। कुछ भी होगा, आपके पास कोई है तो बता दीजिएगा राजेंद्र जी को, हम जरूर मदद करने की कोशिश करेंगे।
सर ये लास्ट
Thank you. Rotary, one of the main purpose for Rotary is building peace, and we would like to lead more peaceful world for the future generations. And we have 8 Rotary Peace Centers all over the world. Now India will host another Peace Center in 2 years' time in Pune, Symbiosis University in Pune. So these universities, as well as one of the areas of focus that we work on in service projects is making sure that peace is built in the communities and in the world.
वेलकम सर, नाइस आंसर।
आता तुम्हाला आपको स्पष्ट बोलता हूँ, 8 यूनिवर्सिटी है जहाँ डिग्री प्रोग्राम है और सर्टिफिकेट प्रोग्राम है। ये दोनों प्रोग्राम फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट हम सिखाते हैं पीस स्कॉलर्स को। ये पीस स्कॉलर्स कौन होते हैं? कोई एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव ऑफिसर होता है या पुलिस वाला होता है, कोई आर्मी वाला होता है, जिसको हम एक प्रोसेस होती है, एडमिशन वैसे नहीं मिल जाती है, एक इंटरव्यू प्रोसेस होती है, तो सेलेक्ट करते हैं सारे देशों से मिलके और उनको 1 साल का, 6 महीने का या 2 साल का ट्रेनिंग देते हैं। और वो ट्रेनिंग के बाद उन पर हम नजर जरूर रखते हैं, वो कहाँ काम करते हैं। कोई काम कर रहा है, अभी गाजा स्ट्रिप में काम कर रहा है, कोई हमारा पीस स्कॉलर गाजा स्ट्रिप में काम कर रहा है। सीरिया में प्रॉब्लम हुई थी तो 2 जो पीस स्कॉलर थे अफ्रीका से, वो सीरिया में काम कर रहे थे। तो ये जो पीस स्कॉलर्स हम डेवलप कर रहे हैं इसीलिए कि वो समझाएं लोगों को कि ये झगड़ा से कुछ बनने वाला नहीं है, प्रेम से सारी चीजें बनती है। तो वो लोग का काम 1800 के ऊपर पीस स्कॉलर्स हैं जो पूरे विदेश में फैले हुए हैं पीस के लिए।
I understand India has a special law that 2% of their profit is given to CSR projects, and Indian Rotarians are working very hard to obtain that CSR funding from the corporations and use it for humanitarian purposes, and we're grateful for that law that you have, your government has studied, and I'm grateful that Rotarians in India are working hard to get that.
Infosys has just agreed to give 2 crores per year for vaccination for a certain disease. The contract is under finalization, so I cannot reveal anything more than that. But I can tell you that large corporates are participating with us in CSR. Not to the extent that we need better participation, more participation of CSR. You can spread the good word. तुम्ही सांगितलं की रोटरी चांगलं काम करतोय, मग अजून कंपनीज आमच्याकडे येणार CSR साठी. एक तुम्हाला मी काळजी करून ऍब्सोल्युटली सांगतो, फायनान्शियल ट्रान्सपरन्सी कंप्लीट आहे. एक पैशाचा हिसाब मिळणार आमच्याकडे. कोणी काय पैसे इथून जाणार नाही की प्रोजेक्ट मध्ये लागलं तर प्रोजेक्ट मध्ये जाणार, दुसरं कुठे पैसे जाणार नाही. आम्ही हिसाब देतात पूर्ण, त्याची आम्ही काळजी घेतोय. चार्टर्ड अकाउंटंट ऑडिट वगैरे स्ट्रिक्ट होतोय. म्हणून आमच्याकडे आता इन्फोसिस आहे, पुष्कळ कंपनीज आहेत जे देतात. पण आतापर्यंत आता आजचा दिवशी उद्यापर्यंत ते होपफुली ते MOU साइन होईल इन्फोसिस बरोबर.
And yesterday we met with Mrs. Perla at the Perla Corporation.
Rajni Birla.
We talk about CSR, but a company like Perla Corporation, they do a lot more than CSR required by the law. For polio alone, Mrs. Perla has given Rotary $16.7 million US, which is fabulous amount that besides Bill Gates Foundation, she has given more than anybody else in the world. And it's not only polio, but she has worked on many other projects that Rotary is doing, and other projects that other organizations are working on. So there are corporations in India, and I'm very grateful that they're supporting not only Rotary, but many other great organizations with humanitarian causes.
Rotary has a very popular project which is called the Project National Integration. In this project, we work with the Indian Army, the highest officers of the Indian Army, to bring peace in Kashmir. In addition, last year the Navy, the Western Command, approached us with a very unique project. आप लोगों को मालूम होगा क्या Indian Army, Indian Navy and Indian Air Force, if somebody dies during battle, the martyr, the family, the wife of the martyr is allowed to stay in the military campus only for a period of 2 years. This is a very serious problem in the Indian law where the military is also helpless. So after 2 years, these young martyr widows have to vacate the house and they have to go back to the villages, which is very difficult for them. Indian Navy approached us that they wanted to build a hostel for the wives of the commandos, the martyrs, the widows of the commandos, where they would be able to stay permanently in the case of so they don't have to leave the house and go back to their villages. A project of 4.5 crores. We approached one company, Sanatan Mills, Sanatan Textile of Mumbai. One CSR contribution, 4.5 crores. If you give me a chance, one day I will take all of you to Chembur. We have created 2 hostels with 72 1 BHK houses, where respectively today 72 widows of the Indian Army, military and Navy are staying there. So this is a recent success story. Rotary engages with all the major corporates, and the corporates trust us to do the projects with them. Thank you very much.
You know something? Who is the initiator of this project? No, I think credit must be given to the person who initiated it. Rajan Dua needs credit for this. You should give an applause for this. Building peace in Kashmir has been his complete passion.
Mr. Thanko, you're visiting Bharat. What is the main concept of the team what you have planned for 1 year, and with your new team here who are in position? What do you have for the next year's plan?
I will try to stress service activities for Rotary to make sure that Rotarians try to work on service projects everywhere. So every club should have at least one service project to work on, and in order to enlist more members to Rotary, I think what we need is to make sure that we provide more choices to the people to serve our community and our international communities as well. Especially today, we need young people to join us, but they don't feel that it's necessary for them to join an organization to do good. What we will try to do, what I will try to do, is ask Rotary members to provide service, more service activity, and ask the young people, instead of asking them to join Rotary, asking them to participate in our service activities. And once they do, Rotary, as you can see, is a lawyer, is a construction man. I'm in materials business, and we have so many different variety of people who are experienced and knowledgeable in Rotary Club. And young people need to grow. They need to grow socially, they need to grow professionally, they need to grow financially, they need to grow in their family lives. So we could provide great mentorship because we have such a variety of different professions and different experiences in our club members. So through that, we hope to gain more young people into Rotary. Thank you. I will try to stress service activities for Rotary to make sure that Rotarians try to work on service projects everywhere. So every club should have at least one service project to work on, and in order to enlist more members to Rotary, I think what we need is to make sure that we provide more choices to the people to serve our community and our international communities as well. Especially today, we need young people to join us, but they don't feel that it's necessary for them to join an organization to do good. What we will try to do, what I will try to do, is ask Rotary members to provide service, more service activity, and ask the young people, instead of asking them to join Rotary, asking them to participate in our service activities. And once they do, Rotary, as you can see, is a lawyer, is a construction man. I'm in materials business, and we have so many different variety of people who are experienced and knowledgeable in Rotary Club. And young people need to grow. They need to grow socially, they need to grow professionally, they need to grow financially, they need to grow in their family lives. So we could provide great mentorship because we have such a variety of different professions and different experiences in our club members. So through that, we hope to gain more young people into Rotary. Thank you.
He wants to know what is the work we are doing on environment. Good question.
Great question. Yes, environment is a critical existential problem. And, some people do not believe that the climate crisis is a true issue, but scientifically it is proven. Also, every day we face strange weather, droughts, storms, wildfires, glacier melting, and all this. We face climate issues every day. And it's not just India or any other country alone, it's all over the world. And especially when we think of the future generations, we must make sure that this climate issue is at least slowed down, if not completely eradicated. So Rotary is working on environment issues. One of the things I know that in this area, mangroves trees around the ocean side is one of the big projects we do, and we try to clean up our rivers, clean up our ocean, and many other projects that we're working on the environment.
There is a gentleman in Bangalore whose dream is to build 1 million trees in India in 1 year, and he's done 500,000 already. He's on the other 500,000. So if he in 5 years builds 5 million trees, I think it will be a great thing. But environment cannot be done by an NGO alone. NGO, we need citizens' help and cooperation. They must understand the seriousness of the situation and also cooperate with us when we do it. When we plant a tree somewhere, people come and destroy it, for example, for whatever reason they want to. So we need support from you. You people have a big role to play in protecting environment. Support us in the cause. We will tell you what environment project we are doing, and if you can give that publicity for the purpose of understanding this is the nature of the work that is being done. We need more people to clean the river, build check dams, ensure clean drinking water, and all that, and for the purpose of protecting the environment. But a lot of work is happening, I can tell you, all over the world. There's a serious committee appointed by RI for this purpose. देखो, मैं भारतवासी हूँ, मैं राष्ट्रवादी हूँ, मैं कभी भूलूंगा नहीं अपने देश को। मेरे हिसाब से अपने देश के अलावा कोई काम नहीं कर सकता जितना अपना देश में होता है। हाँ, तालियां मार सकते हैं आपके लिए, अपने देशवासियों के लिए, क्योंकि अपने देश में अपॉर्चुनिटी है। जितना अपने देश में अपॉर्चुनिटी है वही नहीं है बाहर। इसलिए हमें ये अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली है काम करने के लिए, तो हाथ बढ़ा के हम काम करते हैं। और बात सही है, बहुत ज्यादा काम इंडिया में होता है क्योंकि यहाँ पर अपॉर्चुनिटी है और काम करने का सुविधा भी, पोटेंशियल भी है और गवर्नमेंट का हेल्प भी है, ये भी बताना चाहिए। उनसे क्वेश्चन, which is the country which has the maximum amount of service projects? You have to answer it.
I believe India is number one. And I'm proud that Rotarians in India are working very diligently on the humanitarian projects, as well as giving donation to the foundation so that we could do more, not only for India but for other countries all over the world. India, Rotary in India is very best in the world right now. Thank you.
As I know, he is a very hard-working and dedicated person, and I'm sure that all these coming years he is going to make Rotary proud. आप सब लोग, सभी पत्रकारों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आप लोगों ने आज एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट प्रोग्राम था जिसमें चीफ मिनिस्टर 11:30 बजे का प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस रखे थे, तो आई वॉज वेरी स्केयर कि सब लोग आएंगे या नहीं, लेकिन आप लोगों ने मेरा मान रखा, रोटरी का मान रखा, हम सब का मान रखा, यहाँ पर आए, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
अचूक बातम्या, निपक्षपाती विचार, अन्यायाविरुद्ध वाचा फोडणारे परखड विचारांचे सार्वभौम दैनिक प्रजासत्ताक जनता।